Right, welcome back to the Mental Breakdown podcast, where it's a gamble which one of the hosts had a mental breakdown this time. Is it that much of a gamble, though? No, it's me. This time it's me. Yeah, I'm out of it today. It's going to be a weird one. Don't worry.
You're a bit out of it, son. A bit out of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't really know what's going on very much right now. Where am I?
What's up, champ? What's happened?
I can't sleep, Judd. I can't sleep. Ever.
You can't sleep.
I can't sleep.
Are you like
how
Mr.
do you sleep?
Are you like Mr. Moon Knight? Are you like Mr. Moon Knight who says, I can't tell the difference between more waking life and more dreaming life?
Yeah, I think I can tell the difference because my dreaming life, oh God, it's nice. God, isn't it nice to be asleep and dreaming and not be in the horrific real world? Am I right, everyone? If you agree with this statement and you hate the horrific real world, tweet at tweetsbadly and let us know. Or leave it in the comments of the YouTube version of the podcast, which you can get on the Streams Badly YouTube channel. You can even leave comments and all that sort of shite on Spotify now. There's video versions on there, and you can get the audio version on Apple Podcasts and all other good streaming platforms. Oh, dear. Yeah, I don't know. I think I thought I should mention that at the top of the podcast, but now I don't really know what to follow it up with. Work's been busy this week, right? And I've had a lot to do. And one of the things I've had to do is my least favorite thing to do in my job, completely by far. I've had to do an appraisal. I bet you don't have to do them on your building site, do you? You don't have to have a 6-month and year-long appraisal.
What is it? What does it entail, your appraisal?
It's just kind of like a meeting. It's kind of like a progress meeting. Okay. So you have a meeting with your manager, and then you kind of talk about your objectives and how you've done and all of that sort of stuff. But you have to fill in documents for it and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just so bad at it. I can't do. I hate it. I'm an IT boy, right? I press buttons and I make computers work. I don't write documents based on based on feelings and stuff like that. I don't do that. That's not me. I can show you how to create a new document. I can even make you a good template for it. I can do that. I can do all of that stuff. I can even optimize your hard drive so that it can store many different types of these documents. But don't ask me to write one though. It's like I can't I've had 2 training sessions this year to try and get good at this. I don't think it's worked. I can't do it. I hate it. So I've spent ages this afternoon trying to do this, and I've just not really managed to do it. And my plan about it is, well, look, this is my plan. I'm gonna do a podcast, have a few drinks, and I might get some inspiration if I get pissed enough. So I might have another crack at it later. No, in reality, I've got a little bit of time before the meeting that it's needed for tomorrow. So, but anyway, coming up in today's podcast, there's plenty. Don't worry. If you thought I was getting a bit salty about that, then just you wait. There's there's going to be a lot of anger flying around and in this one, I think. I want to talk to Judd about an event that happens once every 5 years, apparently, on the internet. So far as we know, that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, there's some debate stuff going off, and we might look at some porn later as well. That's only slightly a joke.
Hot.
We might look at some porn, kind of.
Hot mommy.
If we don't do it in this podcast, it'll be in the next one, which is a good incentive to make sure you follow us and listen to all the podcasts in the future. Anyway, Judd.
I hear our podcast is actually number 1 with porn addicts.
Porn addicts in Seattle?
Is it Seattle?
Porn addicts. I totally forget all the time. Oh, Sming Meb, which I'm pretty sure is Sam, says handsome, successful, big willy, good beard, great with the ladies, funny, charming, brilliant fashion sense, and also Judd's all right as well. No, it doesn't. I twisted that into me. He said, "God, what I wouldn't do to be Jordan." That's
very sweet. Thank you, Sam.
And what about me, Sam? Yeah. Would you want to compliment me as well? And
you threatened me with death, and told me not to do the podcast on Wednesday, and now I've done it, and now you showered me in compliments. So I don't know what to make of it.
Why did he want you to do the podcast?
He just said, "Don't do it. I'm warning you. This is a threat." And then he's
fucking kill. The amount I'm on the edge of a mental breakdown. If you'd have hit me with, "Oh, I don't want to do podcast tonight," I would have probably come over there and actually beat the shit out of you. I'm not even joking. That could have definitely happened.
I was always going to do the podcast. There was no real threat of me not doing the podcast.
All I'm saying is, if that did happen, I am literally scared I'm about to kill someone. You might could do with turning down a little bit. Right, okay. When I say a thing that seems to happen every 5 years, I think it's only happened twice. It's an internet event. It sounds good. Maybe still... No, it's fine.
Really?
What am I talking about, Judd? Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, you're talking about r/place. Place?
Yes.
Is that it?
r/place. What is r/place for people who might not know?
Is that me? Am I taking that away? r/place is.
Yeah, you're here as well. You do. You know.
Because I don't really know that much about it. Like I know sort of what it's about.
I literally saw it yesterday and thought, "Oh, this looks cool."
Oh, okay, because you've been on Reddit a lot.
I saw it on the last day.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of like a Reddit sort of community gathering that happens every 5 years, where there's sort of like this big sort of empty. Like square that you can click on and you can color. It's made up of, I think, tiny little tiles, and you can click on a tile and like make it a color, and you can only do like a certain amount, or you can only do one over like a certain amount of time or something. But essentially what it is thousands of people from Reddit or wherever, like all over the internet, will come to this place, and they'll, as a community, sort of like use the coloured dots to create a picture of like whatever sort of fandom or group they're from or community. So like on this big sort of white canvas, you'll get little country flags. So like people who were, from the UK might make like a UK one, and you'll get little flags all over. Some people might do like a little Kirby if they're from like the Nintendo community.
Yeah, so on that, I've got a list of the most popular communities that were doing this. You get a tile every 5 minutes, and I participated in this. I helped out the Apex Legends community, but just because I were looking for something to watch, there were nothing on YouTube, nothing to watch. I thought, I'll boot up, I'll slap on Twitch. It's an easy thing. If someone's live streaming for 5 hours, I can just not really listen to much. So I ended up seeing, one of the Apex guys who I used to follow is doing a defense of an Apex thing on r/place. So I thought, okay, I'll join in with that a bit then. So that's how I know. So the top one was France. They held 185,000 pixels, I think. I don't really know this. There's France, then Germany. A lot of countries were top. We had America. Surprised they didn't slap their big cocks down and try and fill the entire board.
I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised the number one thing wasn't Ukraine.
Ukraine was 19. It was high up there for a while, but then it got kind of. Honestly, I think the people who took it over were the gays. I actually do think it. Honestly, I swear it was the LGBT.
Zelensky.
And honestly,
so last month.
Honestly, I swear to God. Listen, because that community got number 6 overall. They were the top community that wasn't a country.
The gays. Go on, gays.
Well done, gays. Now, one of the things they attributed to them was a rabbit holding an AK-47, so I'm not so sure about that. But, I don't know. They did great. Good on them. I don't know. There's a lot of rainbow flags and stuff. Looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Other communities you might be interested in. The UK got number 10. One Piece was number 8. There's literally a community called Nothingness that was number 9.
So that's actually the Void. Unless the Void is put down as a separate thing.
No,
but
that's
I know the Void is like people will sort of like erase stuff so that people can sort of like start anew. You know, it's like clearing the chalkboard.
Well, that's what it was kind of in the first one, I think. But in this one, it was a bit of like an art in itself, and it was this like really creepy face that was supposedly like creeping out from the artwork. It looked pretty cool by the end of it.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
What other ones? The Star Wars was number 20. They did pretty well. Super Stonk, one of the biggest Reddits now, was 21. You have to take a bit of this with a grain of salt, because a lot of these people were botting. Pretty certain that France was botting, because there's a time lapse of the way this all ended. By the way, is the Reddit guys, the people who were running it, changed the rules so that you couldn't place any color you wanted. You could only place white, and that's how they were going to end it. And you can go on r/place now, and you can look at the r/place artwork as it currently stands, and it's all whiteness because they've just placed a bunch of white tiles. Everyone, like, you know, finished it off like that. But you could see who was botting because the bots just started placing white tiles. Because obviously, if it was actual people, they were like, I can't place the right color. I don't know what shall I do. And they weren't going to place it. But all the bots were like, here we go, another tile, here we go.
Yeah. I'll keep making the French flag with all these white tiles.
Yeah, and France...
And it really was the French flag, because it all ended up being the white flag.
That's the joke that everyone was saying. Nice. Good. Yeah, the French area was massive. And XQC even, like, did a war on it, basically.
Yeah.
And it just turned white instantly. I was telling my girlfriend about that, and she was like, it's good clickbait.
Yeah.
I declared war on France.
It's great.
Oh, dear. I don't know. It was fun. It was a fun time to be had by all. I liked it a lot. Is there any communities that you would have tried to, like, really make sure were on there? Because that final image of it will be immortalized through internet history now.
Yeah, no, I know. There was nothing... I saw it was going on. I knew it was going on since pretty much, like, day one or it's starting, just because, like, people I know were talking about it. But there was nothing... I never really thought of anything. There was nothing that I was like...
only 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. I saw... Oh, God. I know Jerma, my favourite streamer, Jerma, was on it for a bit. He had like a little section because he was talking about it. And then I also saw, when I was watching the Jerma video, I also saw that Super Mega had a little thing up as well. So that's all I really know about it.
On your recommendation, I tried to watch Super Mega, and they're fine. I'm not going to stay subbed though. I kind of thought the mail time was all right. Honestly, this is going to sound cocky as fuck. They seemed like a less funny version of us. And I don't mean that they actually are less funny. I mean to me. Like, as in, obviously, I'm going to like
your
our humor because I'm part of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it was like, it's decent.
The Japan vlog one's good. I think there's about 3 episodes of them. Like, I'd say that's probably one of their funniest.
It seems like the type of channel that you really need to be into those sorts of personalities, and I don't know. I'm not. I prefer like cold ones, you know, as a similar personality type of thing. I don't know. For me on r/place though, there was communities that I, you know, kind of was interested in. I liked what the Scandinavian countries did, because Scandinavia's the biggest utopia there is in the world right now, I think. And they kind of combined all their flags together and had a big old circle jerk. That was quite fun. The UK one, obviously, was kind of cool. Apex was quite an interesting, cool one, because it felt so small of a community compared to all these other ones. And it were like, oh, fuck, I hope no one big wants to take our spot. Because otherwise it'd be like, oh, we're fucked, we're done. It'd be like that. I saw that Good Mythical Morning, you know, Rhett and Link's show. Rhett and Link won't have encouraged that. They won't have even known this were going on, I don't think. But they have a fairly active subreddit from what I can tell, and they will have organised something that was... It weren't massive, you know, it was nice though. The little logo. KSI's fans, right near the end of it, tried to do a mural of this like iconic picture of KSI being bald, but it didn't look amazing. And as soon as they were about to finish it, all the tiles started turning to white. So on the final image, you can tell what it is if you know what it is, but it still looks janky as fuck. It doesn't look great. All right. Have you got anything? Oh, here's one for you. Judd is a big traitor. And Judd is spreading diseases.
I'm not actually. I'm not, because I know where this is going, but the story didn't turn out like you think it did.
Oh right. So what? So why don't you spin this tale, and when you start becoming an evil traitor and making your excuses, I will interject.
I grow a large hunchback and like a hooked nose, and I'm gonna go yes. I am the carrier. Yes. No, so what happened was on the Friday, I think it was, I wasn't feeling well. I thought I was just ill. I thought I was just coming down with a cold, so I still went into work. But I came home ill, and I did a COVID test just because my nan was like wanting me to do one, so I just did one, and it came back positive. And I did it twice, so I was definitely sure that I really was positive. So I called my dad up on the Friday, and I said to him, "Look, about Sunday, I've got COVID. I can't come. I'm
this
ill.
Is very ambiguous for people who don't know what the story is. We're supposed to be doing something on that Sunday, by the way.
Sorry. For some reason, I just assumed that all of our followers knew that we're going to go see War of the Worlds.
All those zero followers.
I thought the whole populace of Seattle knew that we were going to go see War of the Worlds. Sorry, Seattle.
War of the Worlds theatre show.
Yeah. Not an actual set of worlds at war.
Yeah.
That's not what we're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
But anyway, we're going to go watch that show. I couldn't because I was ill, so I called Dad and I was like, I can't go. But it was like he started, because you know our dad.
Our dad's a big old COVID fighter. He's for the past 2 years, him and his girlfriend have had this tirade against COVID that now I understood kind of where they were coming from to start with. I didn't agree with them, but now they just seem like teenagers who are just desperate to be right. Like, they've taken it just too far. Like, I'm not going to get into some of the stuff they've done, but it's just a little bit like, ugh, with them now, you know?
But so anyway, I called him on the Friday and I said I couldn't go. And he was like, well, are you ill? Are you bad with it? Are you ill or anything? I was like, well, yeah, I am ill. Because I was feeling like shit. I was like, I am ill with it. And he was like, oh, well, just see how you feel on Sunday then. And we'll see then. I'm like, all right, okay, I guess, whatever. So Sunday came around, and to be honest, I felt completely fine. Like, there was nothing up with me. Yeah. So I went out shooting with my dad on the morning, and then you sort of woke up later after I'd been shooting, and we were sort of talking about it a bit. And because you were like, so you asked me, you were like, what are the plans for tonight? And I said, well, the thing is, I'm being visited by Mr. Connor Ovid. COVID for you.
Nice. You're proud of that one, aren't you?
Yeah. So I was like, so I don't know if we're going to be able to go. Well, no, I said actually I'm feeling a lot better, but you said, have you done a test? And then I went and did a test, and I was like, well, it's saying I am still positive. So that's when you messaged me saying that, well, you definitely can't come then because you were going to a hospital or something.
Well, it's a couple things. Number one, if I know someone's ill with something, I don't want to be around them. That's simple enough anyway. Like, whether it's COVID or not. Like, if you were ill with, like, a stomach bug, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Well, I don't want to go there then. You've got a stomach bug that I don't want. You know, and honestly, this is what I find crazy about our dad as well, because before COVID ever existed, if you were ill with anything else, say you were like, oh, I'm just getting over a flu, I feel a bit better now, but, like, it'd be like, oh, well, you know, do you still want to come? You know, you might don't want to be spreading flu to people. It would have been like that. It's like, oh my God, just because he's got this political tirade against COVID, like, come on, chill. But so there was that for a start. Plus, the fact that we knew it was COVID, when I had it, it was awful. It was absolutely horrible when I had COVID. The worst I've ever felt. Worse that it was, I would break my arm again before I would get COVID again. That's how bad it was. so that was a big factor for me. And the last bit is that it actually don't look like it's going to be this week now, but within this week, maybe next week, and maybe the week after, it depends on when a delivery happens. I'm going to have to be literally in a hospital, like literally with a bunch of sick people that if they got COVID, they're going to die probably, because I've got to install some screens there. So it's like so. That's a lot of reason to not be near someone.
What is this? What is this? Is this some work-related thing?
Yeah, for work. Because I work for a charity that supports the hospital that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's that's a lot of reason not to be around someone who knows that they're ill. Yeah. Like and anyway, carry on with what you were saying.
Well, no. So that was. We got in touch with each other, and I told you I had COVID. So you messaged in this little group chat that we had for planning this that you couldn't go because like you've just said, you're in hospital.
And so I just want to say, with how our dad is, I spent a while trying to craft a message that I thought wouldn't like send him off on one. I tried to keep it light. I tried to keep, what he's like.
Yeah. So I knew that as well. Like when I was reading
it, I sent it.
Yeah. Because I know how you message stuff. I know how you talk. So like when you sent that, I was like, that was written under duress. That.
Yeah, I like debated with my mum. Is this the right word to use? What should the tone be? Which emoji do you think is right for this?
I was like, he's written that under fucking duress. but yeah. Anyway, so we plan to still go out. We plan to still go just without you. Anyway, so it gets to about, he was picking me up for about 6:10, but he was running late because it's dad, and he always likes to run late. So this was probably about 6:15 that this happened. And anyway, I'm waiting, and then I go, oh, my tummy's a bit funny. I think I'm just gonna go run for a shit just before dad shows up. And then I threw my fucking guts up. I just started spewing like crazy. I was just going. I was just going into the fucking toilet. So but honestly, the second that I finished, I was like, okay, I can't go to see the show. I'm gonna call dad. So the first thing I did was I called dad. I was like, look, right, okay, listen, if you're just setting off, don't come for me. Call Jake and see if Jake can still go, because I've just finished like throwing up into the toilet. So obviously I can't go, but because I'm not going, Jake can now go. So tell Jake. And dad was like, oh, well, it's a bit late now. I think we're just going to go straight through.
What? Fuck off. He said he was coming for me at 6:30. Come on.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, did he call you at all about it, or?
Not at all. He said he was going to pick me up at 6:15. Now, this is what's happened then. So,
yeah.
So before this Sunday, before that, and when I'd put that message I'd taken a while to craft, a little bit after, once he'd seen it, he called me up, and this is what he said. Yeah. He said to me, oh, I've seen your message in that chat saying you can't come if you're in contact with anyone who's ill. And I swear to God, he said, but who do you mean? And I instantly thought, you fucking know what I mean. Don't play me like that. And I was like, playing along with, I was like, oh, Judd, because he's tested positive for COVID this morning. Yeah. And you're like, well, he's not ill. He's come shooting. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, that don't matter. That don't matter to what I have to do. And the main thing he said, he didn't want to harp on about it too much, I don't think, but the main argument he tried to use was, well, if you've been to a shop or if you've been to a cinema or something, how do you know you've not come into contact with someone who's ill there? And I'm like, yeah, it's bad, I don't know that, do I? But in this scenario, I fucking do know that, I can not.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, pretty simple. And his only argument after that was, oh, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, fine then. You don't have to get it then.
I'm not scared to.
I mean, surely if you don't get it, maybe there's something on your end that might be a bit wrong here. Because I fucking get it. So...
But anyway, no, I've been thinking about it because I know for a fact that you didn't go to see the show because I was talking to my nan about the whole thing after I'd been feeling sick, because I was essentially saying how shit I felt about not going to see it, because I did really want to go and see it, and I was telling her about how I told Dad straight away. I was like, call Jake, and I was like, I don't know if he's even going to go through for him or anything. But
I would have been drunk.
I
decided, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to get pissed.
No, but anyway, my nan told me when like yesterday or something, she said they posted pictures of them like during the interval or something, and she didn't see any pictures of you. So I was like,
so they've just not called me to spite me, basically, is what's happened, which is insane. This is what I were on about when I said they've taken it too far. They give a shit that much that like they don't want to. That's £150 ticket, and that's one of the things he said to me on the phone. It's like he said, it's like £150 ticket, and I'm like, I know. I mean, I want to come, but I can't. I'm not going to be around someone who knows they've got COVID. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I was pissed at you. Like, why don't go and infect people with shit? Whether it's COVID or not. So I'm kind of relieved that that's not happened as well. But like, I don't know. It's just kind of a whole deal. The only thing that we can think is a shame at this point is we can't comment on what the show was like, because neither of us ended up fucking going. That's our only Christmas present from my dad, by the way. Gone down the drain. It gave us that and like some beer. Cool. Nice one. Caring family. Right then. Yeah. Well, he's barred from this podcast. How about that? I know he wants to be on it. Am I right? Yeah. No one wants to be on this podcast. Anyway,
I don't want to be on this fucking podcast.
Yeah. Moving on. We're gonna play a little. We have fucking. Okay, I'm gonna play this jingle. Let's see if this jingle's appropriate for this.
That's it.
This is why you are wrong.
Right then, bitches and fuckholes. I don't know what I meant by that.
Oh God!
This segment is called "This Is Why You Are Wrong." Typically, this is where I present Judd with a premise, and he says his stance on such premise, and I try to convince him why he's wrong. However, today, it's not us that are battling against each other, Judd. We're fighting the internet, because there's
I'm ready.
There's a website called Neil.fun, right? And one of the things on this website is a segment called Let's Settle This. And it's got the internet's hottest debates on it. And you have to, you place your stance on it, and then it tells you, the percentage of who's voted what. So we're gonna collectively come to a decision on things. Me and you. It's Podcast Badly versus the internet on today's thing. So we might agree with
it. Come in, Twitter.
Yes, am I right? Twitter. Yeah. No one follows on Twitter. But anyway, follow at Tweets Badly. Go for it. No. Yeah. If we agree with the internet, then that's fine. But if not, then we're gonna tell the internet why it's wrong. So anyway, first we start off with, how do you pronounce the image format that's .gif? Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. So
there is, and now a lot of these might be opinion based, but this one there is a correct answer.
Technically, there is. Technically,
William
there is a correct
says GIF.
Technically, there is a correct answer because the dude said it.
No. That doesn't make it correct. That doesn't make it correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the dude said that it is GIF, like you'd say it with a J. However, no.
Yeah, exactly. He was trolling for a start.
Yeah.
But even if he wasn't, he's wrong. It doesn't matter that he made it. Like, who cares? No, it stands for graphical image format. Now, what? Yeah. You don't say Jaffical, because that would be stupid. So the correct answer is GIF. That's what we're going with, and 83% of the internet agrees, as did William313, because he is obviously an intellectual being. Or is he? We'll see. Moving on. We don't even know if he's a he. Moving on. Anyway, right, next question. is the dress blue and black or white and gold? Do you remember that whole image that circulated around the internet? Some people saw the dress as 2 colours, some people saw it as other colours. Yeah. And if you don't know that, look it up. Again, there is a correct answer. And unfortunately for me, it's not what I saw. I saw the incorrect version of this with my fucked eyes.
I saw black and blue. So
I saw white and gold.
Right.
So,
weird.
The thing is, someone found the exact dress on a website, pictured properly, and it was black and blue. So that's the correct answer. 64% of people agree. 36% of people are fucking idiots.
No, do you not find that fascinating that there's just some things in the world under certain circumstances that people can just experience something entirely different? I mean, not entirely different. We realized it was still a dress, but we were like, whoa, it's a fucking frying pan. So it's so we get that, but
that'd be funny.
Do you not find that incredible that people have gone, holy shit, it's a different color?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, that should be an easy guide into what is definitely true. How can you utilize this knowledge? That should be an easy. It's a lot of the. I've been listening to a lot of philosophy. I might talk about it later. It should be an easy guide into utilizing philosophy in that way. But instead, people are like, no, dress white and gold. Don't care what you say. That's what I see. Shut up. I saw it as white and gold, and I know that's wrong.
I use these eyes to watch the Queen give her speech, and I know what's right.
Fuck me, right?
Said Moon Knight.
Said Moon Knight. Do you know what? The first. Do you know what I'm annoyed? A quick side note here. I'm annoyed at Moon Knight because only one episode of it's out, and I thought
no.
Well, I mean, 2 might be out now, but I thought the whole thing had come out at once. And I watched it, and it was really, really good. And I was like, all right, I'm going to watch the next one when I get home. I actually watched it while it was out, and I was like, I'm going to watch the next one when I get home. And I went to Disney Plus, it's like, there's only one episode. Well, that's fucking annoying. So I'm going to wait for it all to come out now and just watch it.
But I thought it was, it's all right. I'm gonna stick. It's definitely something you got to stick with.
We need to watch the rest of it, but I really liked the first episode. Anyway, carrying on. Another one that actually does have a correct answer, and I can explain it to you. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
It's the egg, isn't it? The egg came first. I think it's the egg because as shit's been evolving, this one thing that wasn't a chicken shot out an egg that would become a chicken.
Judd, you're right. It is the egg.
Okay.
Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this. What the actual kind of question is what came first, the chicken or the chicken egg? Now, that's what they actually mean. Because if it was what came first, the chicken or the egg, it's definitely the egg, because eggs existed before chickens evolved. Okay?
Yeah.
What's William say? See, William says chicken.
You're an idiot,
fucked it, Auntie.
William.
Fucked it, William.
You're an idiot.
Now, 52% of the internet says chicken as well. 52% of the internet says chicken as well. And your explanation was pretty much right, Judd. If you say what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Well, other eggs, such as dinosaur eggs, came before chickens, right? But, you know what? Let's go with you and say the chicken or the chicken egg, right? It's still the egg. Because the only reason a chicken can exist is through mutation, evolution, right? So what's happened is, whatever evolved into the chicken, when it conceived offspring, when that sperm and uterus egg kind of did a wibbly woo, when it did that, a mutation occurred, right? That wasn't originally what that is, right?
No giggling in the back of the class either. Wibbly woo is a scientific term.
It is.
You listen to this, there's going to be a test on this, you son of a bitch.
So, then that evolved into a chicken. So, what happened was that a chicken laid an egg that was mutated, essentially a chicken egg. So a non-chicken laid a chicken egg because its egg was mutated. Yeah. So the chicken egg was first. So no matter how you crack it, the egg came first. So there you go. Most of the internet's wrong on that one, and there's nothing you can do to prove otherwise. Here's an actually opinionated one, but as an autismo, I'm pretty firmly right on one of these. Technically, it's an opinion, but I've got a strong one. Now, what does Williams... So this is, how should a sandwich be cut? Diagonally or horizontally? Now, Williams' opinions on this is, it depends. Diagonally for grilled cheese, and horizontally for deli sandwiches. That's a good point. That's a good point, because there's more information that is needed here. If you're talking a Subway, I ain't about to cut that diagonally. That would suck. But I think what we need to do, based on the little icons that it's given, is we're talking your standard bread, your standard square sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're just going to base it off that, I think, because, you know, to cut a Subway footlong horizontally would be ludicrous. Now, next time I go to Subway, before they cut my footlong, I'm going to say, actually, cut it diagonally, and see what they do, because that'd be fun. So what do you think, Judd? A standard square sandwich. What are we doing? Diagonally or horizontally?
Horizontally, down the middle. I think that's how a sandwich like that should be presented.
Why?
Like that. I just feel like it.
You do realise you're talking to a big autismo man here. This isn't a joke, this is true. And the sentence, I just feel like it, is very annoying to me. You can't simply feel something. How can you feel something without your feelings being well informed by facts?
You know exactly. you know exactly how I can do that. The exact same way that when you hear me say two, you think of like a colour. You probably think of blue or something.
Yeah. You are right. It is blue, actually. That's quite good. I'm proud of you.
It's the same grounds. The old shit alopecia disability. Is that what it is?
No, alopecia's the one that Jada Smith has thick and bald. No, you mean synesthesia. Synesthesia. Alopecia. Speaking of bald, I think I might shave my head soon. I'm warm all the time, and there's all this hair on my head's really annoying. It heats it up a lot. I might just shave it at some point. Well, look, right, my opinion is diagonally is better. Ghost Hand says diagonal is better. William says triangles are better, which basically means diagonal. Ghost Hand says diagonally because eating from the pointy tip to the base is the optimal way to eat a sandwich. That's done it perfect for me. That's what I agree. I just agree. Yeah, diagonally is better. It's just better.
I like
because horizontally. Think about it. You cut your horizontal. Of course you do. You're a fucking gross gremlin. I get why you like horizontally. Surely you understand how diagonal's actually more optimal though. And here's why. I'll convince you, Judd. I'll convince you. Right? Your gross sentimentality. Right? Here's what happens. You make your square sandwich. You cut it in half. You grab one of the halves and you slam your mouth right on the middle of it, don't you?
Yeah, that's what you do. You just slam your mouth right down in the middle of that sandwich.
Yeah, of course you do. Come on, I know you well. That's what you do. Right?
I just slam my chompers right in the middle of that fucker. No art to it whatsoever. Barbarism.
Here's the reason why you should still like diagonal cut though, Judd. Because if you cut it diagonally, there's still a big long strip of straight edge for you to slam a big old mouth on. You can still do that. However, for us people who are actually sophisticated, you've got a nice little corner that fits in your mouth a lot better to bite on that bit, you know? And then you can work your way around in a more efficient way.
You know what? Actually, I lied. The way I like to eat my sandwiches is what I'll do is I'll put all the ingredients on like one slice of bread, and then I'll roll it up. I'll roll it up. And then what I do is I just
eat it like a taquito.
I don't even bite into it. I just like shove it down my throat, straight down my throat.
Like a cartoon, like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I like, yeah, it's like cartoon physics, and I'd swallow it all in one bite, and when I do in one gulp, I go gulp, like a really cartoony sound effect.
Well, that's look, I'm putting on diagonally. Chat agrees, and that's what we're going with. 76% of the internet agrees as well. So, well done, internet. That's fine. Here's one for you then, Judd. This is a kind of opinion as well, I guess. Is cereal a soup? What do we think, chat? What do we think, Judd? Is cereal a soup? Shall I Google definition of soup?
Yeah,
definition
I was just gonna. Yeah.
Of soup. What we got? A liquid dish, typically savoury and made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables in stock or water. Sorry, folks.
No. That
ain't a soup.
That is specifically not a soup. That
no
doesn't
stock.
Meet any...
There's no stock at all.
I didn't meet any of the criteria of soup.
Yeah, not a soup. I'm sorry, William. As much as you want it to be a soup, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I wanted it to be a soup as well. I really wanted it to be a soup. Ghostan says cereal feels more like a broth to me. Now, that's taking it way too far. Soup is certainly not a broth. A broth is specifically boiled bones. So it's not a broth. I can tell you that for sure. Mostly because my girlfriend has recently been getting obsessed with broth and making chicken broth. And fuck me, I've had to try her broth. That sounds gross. That sounds like a weird euphemism. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Move on from this.
Next!
I don't want to hear that shit.
There's a lot of these, by the way, so we've got to kind of go a little bit quicker. Here's one. Toilet paper, over or under? I'm a big over guy. But I don't really care.
I don't know. I think I'd say under.
William's saying over. Well, is this more of a feeling thing for you as well?
What is this? Gang up on the retard day? Come on!
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Judd, I'm right normally, so obviously everyone knows that. And no, what? So do you have a strong feeling? I don't think it. My main opinion is I don't really think it matters. But
I just think it all
looks slightly more aesthetically pleasing. You can still see how much of the roll's left by looking on the side of it, and
I don't know. I just feel like it.
If you're in a toilet cubicle, it's less likely to rub up on the wall the bit that you're using, but that's technically not true. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think it matters. I think maybe under is slightly more optimal, actually.
I think under is more optimal because it's tucked away. It's neat. It's hidden.
I'm sorry, folks. I think we're going with under on this one.
Yeah.
I think I've been convinced because mostly. I don't care. So, under losers a lot. Over, but 85% of the internet says over. Judd, you've got to try and convince the internet why under is superior, because I don't give a shit. This is the whole point of this segment. Do it quick, real quick.
I don't give a shit either, but I will say that if we're talking about neatness, listen, for me, I will just rip open a full pack of toilet paper and I'll just stick that in the corner of the room, and then whenever I want to just wipe my ass, I'll just rip a handful of it off and wipe my ass.
For me, I just wouldn't even have a hanger. I'd just fucking pick up a roll of toilet paper and start wiping.
Yeah, so really, I don't care.
Yeah, but our official stance is we don't care. I'm actually going to move on. Ghostan says under for the ones where support. What? Under for the ones where support is built. Under for the ones where support is built into the wall. Over for the ones where support is detached. And apparently William thinks over's easier to rip off. These are all points that may stand. I think the correct response, though, we're going with who fucking cares? Next, Pepsi or Coke? Now, to me, this is a bit of a nostalgia deal, right? If we're at McDonald's, we're getting a full fat Coke, right? If I'm mixing with whiskey, it's going to be Coke. Hence what I'm drinking right now. Exactly, whiskey and Coke. If I'm going to the cinema, I'm getting a big old Pepsi. If they offer it or not, I'm bringing Pepsi in. That's the right one to pick for a cinema, for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's just conditioning from how I've grown up. Cinemas tend to have Pepsi over Coke. It feels right because of that. If I'm going to have a proper movie night at home where I'm going to get some popcorn from the shop and get a drink for myself to have and focus on the movie, I get Pepsi. Because it feels like a movie-ish thing. That's not correct necessarily. That's the kind of feelings that I've been trained with growing up. What you thinking about that, Judd?
So let me just take a moment to show you my desk.
It's covered in cans of Coke.
You see that?
Oh, Judd, I'm drinking Coke right now. Judd's desk's covered in Coke. I'm sorry, chat. William says Pepsi. Ghostan says Pepsi. Current Coke feels too sweet.
House. We're a Coke house,
and that's not the drink, am I right, Judd? No, that's a lie.
My teeth are rotting away.
Yeah, 65% say Coke. I think the general consensus is Coke. However, just to be kind to chat, Pepsi certainly has its place in my heart. I will say that. And if Coke isn't available and all they've got is Pepsi, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
I listen. I will say this, and I know it sounds funny because I'm saying, I'm addicted to Coke. Way. I actually am addicted to Coca-Cola. I swear to God, I must have like 3 of these a day. It's actually bad. Like I recognize it's bad. How much I drink. How much Coke.
You'd think how much he drinks Coke, they'd be like brown and rotting. They're not. They're red and white. They're red and white, like a can of Coke. Like, it's really weird. That's how much he drinks.
Coca-Cola on them.
Like, he's got a grill, like a rapper's grill.
Constantly, like, along my teeth, it says, try new Coca-Cola, and it's like going across,
like one of those like LED, running.
Yes, like, try new Coca-Cola.
Right, Judd, this is an easy one. I'm going to say it right now. This isn't even an opinion. It actually is an opinion, but I feel so strongly about it. Pineapple on pizza. No. No. Straight up no. If chat wants to let us... William says no pineapple on pizza. A man of taste, of course. 61% says no. That's, not as big as I thought. Look, right. I get the idea of sweet and salty. I get it. I understand it. That's not the issue here, right? The issue is they're too chunky, right? Pineapple pieces, for a start. I don't like things being that that big piece where I have to maneuver my mouth around on a pizza. Ghostan says pineapple is good as a novelty, not a regular thing. You're on the boundary there. I'm about to get mad at you. It's just straight up bad. The main reason I don't like it is it's too fucking juicy, right? Pizza already has sauce on it, okay? Imagine, you've got a slice of pizza, right? You're about to eat it, you're holding it up to your mouth, and someone just, dribbles some water over it. How fucking annoyed would you be? Or, right, someone just, dribbles, lemonade on it. Or even, straight up pineapple juice. You'd be so fucking annoyed, wouldn't you? It's like, you just made my pizza all soggy. What the fuck are you doing? Like, that, it sucks. It's awful. Fucking, it makes it all gross. You wouldn't dip your pizza in a glass of water before you eat it, would you? Unless you're in, a food eating contest. So, no, we're not going with that. Right. Judd, Star Wars or Star Trek? Mate, at this point, I'm more likely to watch a new Star Trek content than I am Star Wars. So I think we're going to have to put Star Trek, which is a sad thing for me because previously...
So I still say Star Wars, but for me, Star Wars is more of the deep lore stuff, like when you look into more of the background shit. Because the setting and the ideas in Star Wars are still pretty cool, and you can still do some pretty cool stuff with them. It's just the mainstream movies now are just fucking so shit. They're just
Star Wars just
unbelievably terrible.
It isn't. It's all the media surrounding it.
It's not. But
I wish there was neither for me. I don't like them.
I've not watched enough Star Trek really to really get into it. All I know is that there's a race of actual Jewish people.
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to. I've swayed myself. I'm gonna still say Star Wars, right? Because my Judd's frozen. I don't know if you can hear me. The only thing I actually really actively from Star Trek is the Star Trek Lower Decks animated series on Amazon, and even that, I've not bothered to watch the second season. So, whereas Star Wars, the original 3 were, honestly, only pretty good. They weren't incredible. They were pretty good. For the time, they might have been reasonably incredible, but they're slightly overrated. They're good-ass movies, but not greatest of all time level, which a lot of people say.
They are very, fucking overrated movies. Star Wars is overrated. Stop kidding yourself.
Star Wars is overrated. You're right. I wouldn't put it that harshly, but you are right. And I have some fondness for the prequels, actually. But and Force Awakens. I like Force Awakens too. I do like Force Awakens. However, Rogue One, really good. Solo. Oh. And then, what was it? The Last Jedi. Yeah. And then, The Rise of Skywalker.
I didn't even go and see it. Because it's like... The thing is, I knew it was going to fucking suck. Like, we all knew it was going to suck, so I just didn't go and watch the movie. I just didn't give them my money.
This is what chat says. William's seen Star Wars. Ghost has seen Star Trek. The Next Generation by itself is better than all of Star Wars. Wow.
It probably is.
I've never watched it. I just, there's something about it I can't get into. I feel like I should force myself. William says, Star Wars paved the way for cinema. Yeah, and he also says they're milking it, but back in the day, Ghost says Star Wars is still cool though. You know what? Before the latest Disney era of Star Wars, this wouldn't be a debate to me. Star Wars would have been better. The latest Disney era of Star Wars has done so much damage to Star Wars that I honestly, I keep flip-flopping. I'm 50-50. You have to pick for us, Judd. What are you picking?
I like Warhammer. Can we say Warhammer?
There's so many.
I don't know. Star Wars, just Star Wars.
Star Wars
just for me personally, but like
85%
I could easily say
agrees.
Star Trek.
There we go. I'm sorry, chat.
Right,
Whichever one. It was 50-50 chat as well. Right, look, Judd.
Just because I don't know enough about Star Trek, I'm going to say
this
Star
is a weird
Wars,
one.
so.
I'm going to have to kind of describe it for the podcast. Should a dog, if a dog were to wear trousers, would it wear them across the bottom half of its belly but over both sets of legs? Or just over the hind set and kind of like cross in the middle of its belly?
That one, the second one.
Okay. What do we think, chat? What do we think? Me? My answer would be neither. Kill all the dogs because I hate them.
I was gonna say, which pair is the ones where it has my hands wrapped around.
And while chat kind of decides on that, sorry for the podcast listeners because we've got chat for once. We've got a couple of people in chat. Next door, right? They've got a lot of dogs at this point. I'm pretty certain they're illegally breeding dogs. But their dogs every morning, consistently, before I'm about to wake up, and then they're like, "Shut up!" How do I approach him and be like, look, that's really fucking disturbing. I get no sleep as it is. Can you seriously do something about that? Because I really hate it. Now, bear in mind, me and my neighbours have quite a big feud and we fucking hate each other already.
I was just gonna say, well, it depends which neighbours these are. Like,
I've only got one set of neighbours.
Okay, but I don't think you can broach the subject.
I've just got to deal with it.
You just have to deal with it.
The reason I'm asking you is people like you. So do you think you could pull that off?
Well, listen, I just say to him, look, listen, mate, if you don't fucking do something about your dogs, I'm gonna fucking call somebody because.
And then he's gonna try and beat you up right now. What are you gonna do about it?
Okay, so then when you call people, you can also get him done for battery. Cool.
So what people are you on about? Do you want a gang? You probably do, to be fair. Right, Judd, I think I agree with you. I think the hind legs and in the middle of it, I think that's kind of... See, the thing is, it depends what you're going for. Is it to make the dogs most human-esque? Because if that's the case, Judd is right. If it's to make it most practical, to cover up the most of the dog, then Judd's not right. And I think that's the whole reason of it. And I'm going to say, I'm going to be against you, Judd. I think the whole reason of why you would ever want a dog to wear trousers is to cover up its, like, cock and bollocks, to cover up its titties, all of that shit, and that's all in the lower half.
Okay, all right, Jay.
However, that doesn't cover up its butthole. I've switched back to your side, Judd. Don't worry about
it. I was just gonna say, you don't fucking wear trousers to cover up most of your body. You use it to cover up the lower part of your body.
Yeah. Which for dogs is both of its legs and that. Yeah.
No. For dogs.
So you've actually convinced me to the other way. I'm sorry,
dogs,
Judd.
It's the same area that we have. It's the fucking.
It's not because they've got titties all up their belly, Judd. They've got titties all up their belly.
Okay, all right, okay. When was the
You
last
use a
time
bra
you
to cover
actively
titties.
Listen,
You're right. I'm going with you, Judd.
Okay. You fucking idiot. When was the last time you used trousers?
I've accidentally conducted a debate on this stupid topic with myself. The internet agrees, 82% agree. Ghost Hand says charge him for assault. That's very nearly happened before. If you want to know the story of that, you're going to have to check through a lot of old podcasts, because I talked about, there was one time, Bonfire Night, where he genuinely nearly beat the shit out of me. Well, I mean, he would have tried. I genuinely think I would have beaten him, but you know, whatever. Here's an easy one. Could Jack have fit on the door in the movie Titanic? Of course he could. 79% of the internet agrees. No need to discuss that one. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, I am firmly in the yes category. The hot dog is sandwiched between two elements of its bread roll. That's a fucking sandwich. It is literally sandwiched. I
agree.
It's a sandwich.
I agree.
It's a genre of sandwich. In the same way that a burger is a sandwich. It's a sandwich. It's just a subgenre of sandwich.
Yep.
We're going with that. William says yes, and then he also says no. I think he means yes for the door and no for the sandwich. I'm sorry, William. You're wrong, and so is the rest of the internet. 62% of the internet. If something is between two pieces of bread, it is literally sandwiched. That's the whole idea, right? Even if it's between two pieces of not bread, it's still sandwiched. If it's squished between two things, that's being sandwiched. Then it is a sandwich. Sorted. Right, Marvel or DC? It's Marvel. William agrees with that. Judd, do you agree with that? Because you should. I mean, I know Batman. I know the Joker.
I don't know. If we're talking about film, I'd say if for what they've done the most for media, then probably Marvel. Like really, the answer is Marvel. But you know, DC has got it beaten. You know, very few aspects.
We've got a good, interesting take here from Ghost Hand. Marvel for movies, DC for comics and cartoons. Now, I kind of see this. Marvel for movies for sure. We know that. Everyone can agree on that. DC for comics. DC's universe is weirdly almost more confusing. And
I'd say it's definitely more confusing than the Marvel comic universe. Easy.
I think Marvel's like stages, like they're kind of like what do you call it? What is it called in anime? Where, you know, like the Boo, like, you know, in Dragon Ball Z, like the Cell.
Is it like
Saga? Saga, that's it.
Saga, yeah.
So they have like sagas in that, and I think the Marvel ones are better. As sagas, they're better. I think their hero characters are better. DC tends to have slightly better villains, but Marvel kind of does well with that. I think Marvel comics overall are just a bit better. Batman holds a lot of the candle. Ghost Hand adores Superman. Now, look, Ghost Hand, I'm sorry. Superman sucks though, doesn't he? He's fucking boring.
He's cool when he's a villain. When he's used as a villain, he's cool.
That's the only time. That's the only time. And only as a big bad arcs. Arcs is another. You're right, William. Arcs is another word for it. As a big bad villain for lots of other heroes take on, yeah. But he's not really quintessentially a villain, so So I would still say Marvel. There's a lot of good DC comics, I will say. It's a kind of a bit of a toss-up, but I do think Marvel's a bit better. And then for cartoons, now I know what you mean. We've got Teen Titans. The Batman animated series is fucking brilliant. There's even that futuristic Batman animated series, but let me posit you this. The 90s X-Men cartoon? The 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the 2000s Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Shocker!
These are good.
Get back here! I will chase you to the ends of the earth! Have you seen that?
Good shit, right? Now, overall, if I really had to pick, I do think that DC kind of pits it in cartoons, but we're talking overall, Marvel's the winner, and the internet agrees. Should we get rid of daylight savings? Yes, this isn't a debate. It's stupid. It's only used for farming, and even farmers don't even need it nowadays because we've got modern technology. We've got fucking clocks, right? We know what clocks are. So stop with your shit. I'm not even debating that one.
So, you know, I got a little bit of a horse in this race because I listened to the Always Sunny podcast. And they
takes me out of the immersion of the show. That does So anyway,
the immersion that they're all horrible fucking scum. yeah, and not actually like real nice people.
Do you know what shattered that show a little bit for me? That Mac and Bird D are they're married, and I don't in real life, and I don't like that. That's annoying.
And Charlie and the waitress are married in real life as well.
Oh, why did you have to tell me that one? I didn't know that one.
So there you go. There's
anyway,
that one for you.
moving on. I don't care about your podcast. We've got too many of these. I'm sorry, Judd.
No, all I was going to say is that with the daylight saving thing is that apparently at one point in a certain state they like tried it for a couple of years, but it like fucked up their internal clock because they were so used to just like subconsciously doing the daylight saving thing. So
no, that's
they like
bullshit.
Put it back.
I get why it would cause a bit of a problem if it was in one state of America compared to the rest of them, but in like England, for example, we just don't need it, right? It's just stupid. Xbox or PlayStation, right? We're talking about over all the years. So from the original Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, all of those, we're going to go with that. PlayStation, superior. There's only one generation where Xbox wins, and that's the Xbox 360 versus PS3 era. And the only reason it wins was the exclusives. That's literally it. Other than that, if PlayStation kind of stepped up the games with the exclusive games, PlayStation would have definitely been better as well across every single generation. Ghostan says PC. I mean, I actually would debate that. There's actually reasons why console's better, but we'll get into that another time. William says PlayStation.
Hasn't the new one released with like no games or something, or was that 4? Was that PlayStation 4? One of them released with like no. I'm sure one of them like didn't release with like any games basically.
I don't know. Ghostan says between the two, Xbox by Game Pass alone.
Game Pass is good. I've got Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good.
Game Pass absolutely fucking blows PlayStation like now or whatever the fuck it is they get out of the water.
Right, it depends what you want, right? By a little bit. Game Pass, okay. Well, Game Pass is probably better than PlayStation now. I'm going to say that for a start.
Yeah.
But Game Pass is good. The latest best games aren't going to be on Game Pass, right? We know that, okay? That's fine. But if you're going to play old, but really good games for very cheap, well, a mildly shitty PC will do that, and will be cheaper, and you can keep them forever. So it just kind of makes it a little bit redundant. So look. PlayStation. And the internet agrees, 61% says PlayStation, 39% say Xbox. However, you know what? If you're an Xbox fan, good on you. You're not entirely wrong, but are we living in a simulation?
Are we living in a material world, and am I a material
Xbox has backwards
girl?
compatibility. PS5 does to PS4, but I think they've got the same backwards compatibility. I'm not sure. Does Game Pass have God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and Spider-Man? That's my those games are brilliant to me. I mean, God of War kind of was a bit annoying, but Ratchet and Clank really good, and Spider-Man, one of my favorite games ever. Are we living in a simulation, Judd? Let's answer this quickly. I
don't fucking care. And like, honestly, if we are, how much of a boring bastard do you have to be?
I'm going to quickly get through this
simulation.
One. Yes, we are, because technically, if you want to define a simulation as what we're living in, then we are. If I say to you then, Judd, what we are living in is a simulation, and then I ask you, what are we living in?
A simulation?
Oh, well, we must be living in a simulation then. Answered. Easy. It don't matter. Right. A simulation is what we say a simulation is. If I said, this cup that I'm holding is a simulation, and I said to you, what's this cup?
A simulation.
Do you get my point? It's a simulation. Yeah. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? It's not. It's a movie that's set at Christmas, in the same way that Harry Potter is a movie that's set at Christmas. The Christmas movie is a movie that's dedicated to Christmas.
I'm sorry, bud. I gotta disagree. I think it's a Christmas movie.
Why?
Because he delivers them lead.
I'm convinced. Fuck it. Yeah, sure. No, I'm not convinced. Fuck you. Look, let's chat a bit.
I only watch that movie at Christmas, so for me, that's a Christmas movie.
Ghostland's got a pretty interesting take, yeah. Technically, every human is experiencing simulation through their brains. I guess that kind of sensors are simulating reality in a way. Yeah, but that's not saying that we're living in a simulation. That's a different thing, but whatever. I don't really care if Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I don't think it is a Christmas movie. It's an action movie at heart, isn't it? It's primarily action.
Yeah.
It's not primarily Christmas. Would you say The Nativity is a school movie? Would you say The Nativity is a stunt movie? Because there is some stunts in it. It's not, is it? It's a Christmas movie because it's primarily a Christmas thing. So that's the whole thing. It has to be the primary genre. When we look on our spreadsheet, what's the first genre of the thing? For Die Hard, it's action.
Action.
So, anyway, middle piece or edge piece of the brownie? William says middle.
Middle piece usually, because if depending on how much can of butter you've put in it, it usually congeals to like the middle. So.
Yeah, William doesn't want crust on his brownie. He definitely wants the can of butter. Cannabis, is that what you're on about?
Yeah.
Ghostan likes the crust. I'm going to go with middle because I don't like brownies, and most people seem to like the middle more. If I were to eat...
like brownies.
I don't like chocolate-flavoured things. I like chocolate, but I don't like things that are flavoured with chocolate, which a brownie comes into
I do know this, actually, about you.
If it was a blondie, for example, so like vanilla and... like white chocolate instead, I'm picking middle. It's gooier, and I like the gooey kind of stodgy taste. We're going with middle. Most people say the edge piece. I understand that. Ghostan likes it as well. Right, anyway, here's a weird one. I don't know why anyone would do this differently to what I do. I'm going to read it exactly how the question is. Sock, shoe, or sock, shoe.
Sorry, run that by me again.
Sock, shoe, or sock, shoe. William says second. That's the correct way. Look, do you put a sock on one foot, then a shoe on the same foot, then a sock on the other foot, shoe on that foot, or do you put both socks on? Yeah, I know.
What kind of fucking psycho puts the shoes on and shoes and socks are like, who does that?
Main reason is you can wear socks without shoes, like around the house. But you would never like just wear one sock and one shoe and then nothing on the other foot. That's insane.
No.
The internet agrees, 82%.
Fucking psychopath. No, of course.
Here's another one that I would argue is potentially factually correct, but actually is an opinion. iPhone versus Android. Now, we've got a firm stance on this podcast that Android is better. Whether Judd agrees with that or not, I don't fucking care. That's what the stance is. And we're going with Android.
I do agree. I don't like using Apple products.
iPhone obviously takes the popularity with 63%. William says iPhone, and he's wrong. Look, right. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to go on about it. I've gone about it for many years of life. If you want to talk to me and debate me about it, genuinely, I'll do it for you for hours. At Tweets Badly. Tweet at Tweets Badly why you think iPhone's better than Android, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. I'll do it for forever if I have to. Ghostan says Android if you want to mod it, iPhone if you want accessibility. Fucking please. iPhone's accessibility can suck my third nut. Forever. That's a fact, by the way. I actually have 3 testicles. I'm quite a bit of a mutant.
That actually is true. He does have 3 balls.
Seen it. I've seen iPhone's accessibility can suck my third cock. Wait, that's different. No, honestly, Android's better for accessibility too. It's better in anything you want an iPhone to be better at. I'll tell you why an Android device is better. I genuinely believe that. Here's an interesting one, Judd, that I actually struggle with the most. Does a straw have 1 hole or 2?
It's 1 hole. It's the same hole. It's just if you dug a hole, if you dug a deep hole, and then you sort of like dug that hole out, like you dug it out of the ground, and
you went
had
all
it
the way
so,
through the center of the earth and came out the other side.
So, okay.
Yeah, is that what you're getting?
That's still a hole. That's still a hole. That's deep hole.
Judd. This is the thing. You've got an entry hole and an exit hole. Ooh. Oh no! I know. That's the thing. That's the bit of the weird debate. Ghostan says 1 hole, 2 entrances. This is actually a philosophical weird debate. I think, right, a straw has no holes. I think it's just a straw. In itself, there's no holes in it, right? If liquid was coming out of the side of it when you were sucking up, it would have a hole in it. I think a hole is an unwanted gap somewhere.
You're getting crazy here with these
Something
philosophies,
like that.
Jake. You're gonna get a bit fucking crazy here, bud.
William says too, there's a hole in China and a hole is America.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I don't know. I think if you're talking about bullets that create a straw through whatever they shoot, you got an entry and an exit. I think a hole, I'm feeling too, you know, because to me, right, if you suck up liquid through a straw, it enters through the entry hole, it is within the straw, and it exits into your mouth through the exit hole. I'm thinking too. I think Ghost Hand has kind of proven themselves wrong by saying it's got 2 entrances. Those entrances are holes. They say a hole is but a concept when you think about it, and now that's correct. What's our official stance, Judd? Come on, land on one. You just land on one and we'll go with it.
Fine, fuck it, it's got 2 holes.
It's got 2 holes. Oh, we're in the minority. See, most people think 1 hole, 58%.
Damn it!
That's the best question, that one, isn't it?
Why did I have to disagree with the general public? Fuck!
William says a mouth hole and a butthole. So it's got 2 holes. The straw's got a mouth hole and a butthole. See, that's the most convincing concept I've heard about it. Here's one for you. Smooth or chunky peanut butter? And now I'm a smooth guy. The chunks get in the way. It's all peanutty tasting. That's my opinion.
I don't like peanut butter, so it's fine.
We're going smooth then. This podcast stance on it is smooth. Most people say smooth, 71%. Chunky is 29%. I get a bit of chunky. I get why people like chunky. I kind of understand, but it's just a little bit annoying. It's not as useful. You can't use it with as much stuff. Ghost Dan likes smooth. William likes chunky. Look, right. This is the one, right. We all need to just work together and agree that we're all gonna like different forms of peanut butter. Okay, well, someone's gonna be a chunky guy, someone's gonna be a smooth guy, but if any of those are a woman, then fuck me, that's bad. No, that's a joke. That's a whole joke. That's because obviously I said man.
Not funny. I wouldn't make a joke like that. No way, no way.
Oh yeah, listen to the whole other 126 episodes we've done and see the ratio of those to.
It's a load of hooey. I'd never make a joke.
Look,
like
right.
that.
Some of us are gonna like chunky. Some of us are gonna like smooth. They're both peanut butters. They're both nice. That's all we're gonna say. Look,
I don't like peanut butter.
Okay, William's out, and you know what? We're out too. This is not the end of the stream. We continue the stream after the podcast, so follow. Go and follow twitch.tv/streamsbadly to watch this podcast live. And you know we carry on the stream after this, but the podcast itself, the recording of the podcast, is done for today. We've got more. There's so much more stuff coming up in many other podcasts. We've got I've got a massive list of content to try and get through. So follow us, all of that shit. Yeah. What else you got to say, Judd? Come on, hit me with something.
Nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm all right.
Nah,
I think I'm
just gonna bounce.
Right. Yeah. Nah, I think I'm just gonna see you on the flip side.